2 years ago, we did something crazy and bought an old school in the middle of the country to turn it into our house. We didn't even see the school in person before we put in an offer, but more on that in a second. Our school was built in 1914 and has 4 classrooms, an entry room, and 2 pail rooms where the kids used to hang their coats and store their lunches. There's also a sub-basement where there used to be an old boiler and storage for things like coal. We're not sure what else used to be down there, but more research to do. In total, the school is about 9,000 square feet. The school was active between 1914 and 1934, and then from 1934 to 1956, it was a barn that housed cattle, pigs, chickens, sheep, and turkeys. People in the community also had rural youth and other meetings here as well. Since 1956, it's been a home to another family, actually a former student, who divided the school into 2 apartments. It's a pretty big building that requires a lot of upkeep, so by the time we bought it, it needed a lot of work. But I'll back up. This school is located in our hometown of Franklin, Indiana, where both of our parents still live. Sean and I have gone to school together since elementary school, and we started dating in high school. I remember driving by this school on the way to cross-country meets, and I always wondered what it looked like on the inside. In 2012, we moved to New York City. Sean started medical school, and I started as the 3rd employee of a tiny company called BarkBox, doing everything from customer support to content. 9 intense and dog-filled years later, Bark went public, and somehow this kid from rural Indiana who studied English in college was standing on the stage of the New York Stock Exchange. Right around that time, we'd also just had a baby and had told a realtor friend back home that we were wanting to buy a quirky old house in central Indiana. One Friday, our realtor sent us an email, and inside was the school. I jumped up, started sweating, and called my parents and asked if they could go tour the place because we were still in New York City at the time. Sean and I are decently handy, and there are a few things that I love more than a DIY project, but this level of project was just so out of our league. Luckily, my parents run a little commercial real estate business and are much more knowledgeable on how to fix buildings, and they've got a long list of trusted folks to get jobs done. So after my parents toured the school, my dad said, yeah, I think we can figure this out. So we bought it. It's been 2 very anxious and ridiculously busy years, and I can't believe that so many things lined up in our lives to buy this building with so much history. Here are some of the things that we've done so far in 2 years. Fall 2021. Stage 1 was the clean out. We wanted to take the school down to its bones so that we could repair the big stuff. We took out the unoriginal walls, the dropped ceilings, and everything that had water damage. There was also a bunch of ceiling and floor joists to repair that were super damaged from leaks. It was definitely the first of many points in this project where we were wondering if we were absolutely nuts for taking this on, but we pushed through. After the clean out and the joist repairs, we ran into some supply chain issues and we weren't able to get a new roof put on until February 2022. This was huge. It was such a relief to seal up the school from above so that it could stop raining inside. After the roof, we started waterproofing the foundation all around the building. We also installed a French drain so that we could control the water draining from the school and get it away from the basement. In August 2022, we ordered 65 windows and 7 doors. It was by far the most expensive and stressful thing we've ever ordered, compounded by the fact that the windows didn't get delivered until the end of March 2023. In October of 2022, not to complicate things more, but last fall our daughter Margot was born. So with 2 little tater tots 17 months apart, things like DIY projects and editing YouTube videos mostly happen only if I sacrifice some sleep. But I wouldn't have it any other way, and I hope they really like their future house. In March 2023, finally the window installation starts. It was so crazy to see all of the windows get delivered, and it was the biggest visual change for the exterior of the school. We took off the metal siding that was on the windows before and put back the full-length windows. The top windows are 96 inches tall, which is pretty bananas. Around this time, we also started tuck pointing the whole school, and I'm so thankful for our incredible masons Brad, E, and Brintley. For months, they've been painstakingly grinding out literally all of the mortar around the bricks and then putting it back. I said in one of my little videos that I made that they're like meticulous pastry chefs who work with brick, except they get to use giant saws. The tuck pointing is the final step in getting all of the bricks sealed up and watertight so that we don't have to worry about water, mold, and critters. We've got some bats in here. While all of this stuff has been going on at the school, I've also been working on a couple interior projects. After a ton of research, I figured out that it's not too difficult to make custom floor mosaics out of tile. I got a little obsessed with the process and actually ended up making 2. These 2 mosaics will go at the entrance and the exit of the school, and Emily from Shot Design also helped me find the perfect tile to go around the mosaic. Check out another one of my videos for a more detailed tutorial on this. Summer 2023. Also, all this summer, I've also been stripping and refinishing all the doors in the school. There were already a ton of doors at the school originally, and because we're adding bedrooms and closets and to make this layout more livable, the amount of doors that I need to refinish is daunting. In addition to the original school doors, we also sourced 6 doors from an old Catholic school here in Indianapolis and 5 8-foot-tall doors from an old school out in Philadelphia when we were living there. While this job is tedious, time-consuming, and kind of gross, it's also extremely satisfying to uncover the gorgeous old wood under all these beauties. And this brings us up to now. Right now, there are 2 big things going on at the school, plumbing and electrical. Mike Patton and his crew at Patton Plumbing have been doing an amazing job putting in the pipe, a new septic system, outdoor spigots, so much work. Also, find yourself a plumbing team who lets your 2-year-old ride on the excavator. You'll be reading construction books at bedtime until you never want to see another excavator again. Also, Sean Breeden and his crew with Breeden Electric have been busy installing over a mile of wire in the school, as well as outlets, switches, and speakers. It's a lot. They found this 72-inch snakeskin on top of one of the walls, so we do have some future evictions to do. Both things happening right now are detailed and complex, and I'm really thankful to have good contractors to help us do all the important stuff. And this brings us all to today. Next up, we'll be finishing the windows, adding some insulation, doing some drywall, HVAC, refinishing all the floors, and then hopefully we'll start building out the kitchen. Stay tuned for more updates and be sure to follow along on Instagram or TikTok for more as we turn this old Indiana school into our house. What is that, Arla?
Yeah, excavator.
Excavator?